David's case just took a new and shocking turn. The LAPD is slowly peeling back the layers of this tragedy, and even David's own manager, Josh Marshall, is starting to respond publicly. But instead of press conferences or interviews, his responses are hidden in TikTok comments. And people are wondering, why? Why in one of the most talked about cases in Los Angeles are the key players only speaking in fragments? Stay tuned, because in this video, we're breaking down exactly what's happening behind the scenes, what David's manager is saying, what the LAPD is hinting at, and why this could completely change the case. By the end, you're going to have a clearer picture of what's going on than you've seen anywhere else. So grab your headphones, hit that subscribe button right now, and let's dive into the untold truth. First, let's talk about the man at the center of the speculation, Josh Marshall, David's longtime manager. If you've been following the case, you've seen his name everywhere. He's the one whose name is on the lease for David's mansion in the Hollywood Hills. People assumed he lived there. People assumed he must have known about Celeste. People assumed he was somehow complicit. But Josh says otherwise. In TikTok comments, he's been pushing back hard. "How dare you say something like this with no facts?" he wrote to one user. "I have zero knowledge of anything. I don't live in California. I work remotely 95% of the time. I'm a father of 3. This news is tragic. On paper, that sounds clear. But here's the issue. Why would a man under this much scrutiny choose to clear his name in a random comment section instead of putting out an official statement? Why not a press release? Why not a lorded-up tweet to TMZ? The fact that Josh chose the quietest, least official path only made the internet more suspicious. To understand this, we have to break down the logistics. David was just a teenager when he moved into that mansion, 18 or 19 years old. Sure, he had money. Sure, he had fame. But with no rental history, no credit record, and no track record, he would have struggled to get approved for a lease that expensive. Enter Josh Marshall. Older, established, a record of past properties, a steady income at Interscope. He could sign a lease. David would send the money each month, and everyone would be happy. On its face, that's not unusual. In the music business, managers do this all the time. They rent the house, handle the paperwork, and the artist just lives there. But in a criminal case, this detail becomes explosive. Suddenly the manager's name on the lease makes him look like an accomplice, even if he never set foot inside. Then came an email. People online began claiming that Celeste's mother emailed Josh directly, warning him that her daughter was at David's house. The next day, police arrived, and suddenly, Celeste was gone. To conspiracy theorists, that was all they needed. Proof that Josh knew about Celeste, proof that he stayed silent, proof that he was part of a cover-up. Others pointed to a red Tesla in the garage, assuming it was his. Josh denies all of it. No email, no Tesla, no residence in California. But here's the dramatic twist. He never explicitly denied knowing Celeste. He said he never got an email. He said he never lived there. But he didn't say, "I never met her." That tiny omission is now fueling hundreds of TikToks, Reddit threads, and Twitter spaces. While this is happening, the LAPD is also speaking up, but in riddles. In one televised interview, LAPD Chief Jim McDonald called the case a homicide. That's a bombshell. No official autopsy yet. No murder weapon. No suspect charged. And yet he used the word homicide on camera. Was it a slip? Or did he reveal something we weren't supposed to know yet? Then, in another statement to People magazine, Captain Scott Williams walked it back. "We cannot confirm any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body," he said. "That's cop speak for. We're still investigating. We can't say anything yet." So on one hand, we have a police chief hinting at murder. On the other, a captain carefully refusing to confirm anything. This contradiction has left the public in a frenzy. Here's why all of this matters. If the LAPD is keeping quiet, it's not because they're clueless. It's because they're building a case. In California, once you're arrested, you have the right to a speedy trial, meaning the clock starts ticking. If the police arrest David without a rock-solid case, his lawyers can tear it apart, and the whole thing could collapse. Look at Winelly Melly. He was arrested months after the crime, And years later, he still hasn't been convicted. The trial has been delayed again and again. The prosecution looks weak. The case is a mess. The LAPD does not want that here. So they're taking their time. They're keeping evidence sealed. They're quietly interviewing everyone. David's friends, his entourage, and yes, even his manager. Then there's the CCTV footage. Celeste, caught on camera at 7 a.m., apparently heading for a car. The liquor store owner says there was a vehicle waiting at the end of the street. Was it David? Was it someone else? We don't know. And that's the problem. Every new revelation gives us a blurry picture, but no clarity. We know she got into a car. We know she ended up dead. But we still don't know who drove that car, what happened in between, or who's ultimately responsible. This is not just another Hollywood scandal. This is a test of how far fame can shield someone, how long silence can hold, and how social media can shape an investigation in real time. People online are not just watching. They're actively digging, theorizing, and pressuring. Every TikTok, every Reddit post, every leaked detail turns up the heat. And Josh Marshall, by choosing to respond only in comments instead of press releases, has only added to the mystery. And so, here we are. Weeks have passed, statements have been made, and yet the truth about David, Celeste, and the people around them remains buried under layers of silence, contradictions, and speculation. Josh Marshall, a man whose name has been thrown into the fire, claims innocence from behind TikTok comments instead of podiums. The LAPD teases the public with words like homicide, while refusing to confirm what we all feel in our gut, that something terrible happened, and someone knows more than they're saying. But this is what makes the case so chilling, the uncertainty. Think about it. Every single piece of information that leaks out creates more questions than answers. Why was the Tesla in a garage? Why was Joshua's name on a lease? Why are the LAPD captains contradicting their chiefs? Why was Celeste last seen running into a waiting car? And most importantly, why is everyone so quiet? Silence can mean two things. It can mean protection of an ongoing investigation, or it can mean fear of what happens if the truth actually comes out. And that's where we stand tonight. A girl is gone. A family is shattered. A global fan base is left in limbo. Try to piece together fragments from TikTok comments, Reddit theories, and vague police statements. And looming over it all is David, uncharged, untouched, but not free from the shadow that now follows him everywhere. I want you to imagine the weight of this. Imagine being Celeste's family, waking up every day knowing the truth is out there, but hidden. Imagine being Josh Marshall, scrolling TikTok, seeing your name in every comment section, accused of crimes you claim you never even knew about. Imagine being David, the cameras waiting outside your house, the whispers growing louder every time you step in a public, wondering when the knock at your door will finally come. This is not the end of the story. This is only the calm before the storm. Because cases like this never stay buried forever. Evidence surfaces, witnesses break, lawyers talk. And when that happens, when the silence finally shatters, it won't just be a headline. It will be a reckoning. And you, watching this right now, you are part of that. Your attention, your persistence, your refusal to let this case fade into obscurity is what keeps the pressure alive. So don't look away. Don't let this become just another forgotten story. If you've stayed until this moment, it means you care about the truth. And I promise you, the truth is coming. It may take weeks, it may take months, but when it breaks, it will be explosive. It will expose the lies, it will test the power of influence, and it will change the way people look at fame, loyalty, and justice in Hollywood forever. So stay with me. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because the next time I sit here with you, we may be talking about an arrest. We may be talking about charges. We may be talking about the collapse of a career that once looked unstoppable. Or we may discover an even darker twist than anyone ever imagined. One thing is certain, this story isn't over. It's just beginning. And when the truth finally comes out, it will shake everything.